Okay, the first guy up today is Rick Holinger. Rick Hollinger's poetry, fiction, and nonfiction has appeared in the Southern Review, the Iowa Review, Boulevard, and other locations. His collection, Not Everybody's Nice, won the 2012 Split Oak Press Flash Prose Chapbook Contest. Boy, that's a mouthful. He writes a column for the Kane County Chronicle, which I read religiously, teaches at Marmion Academy, and facilitates a writing workshop sponsored by the Geneva Public Library. Rick, come on up.
Thank you, Kevin. It's so cool to see young poets here who are excited about poetry. I get a few in my classes, and it's fantastic to see the light go on. So thank you for coming here and sharing your work with us. Also, thank you as usual to Ann and Kevin for doing this. It's just a remarkable venue for writers, young and old, experienced and experienced, and I just am so honored to be part of it. Also, for a chance to try these new poems out before a live audience, somewhat constrained by social convention for bolting. Sometimes writers come up with ideas and styles that they feel may be edgy, but they're safe and comfortable. Other times they pick something to write about in a way that's so outrageous that they need to depend on what I call the 2-week wastebasket test. Now, this is when you write a draft, you shunt it aside for 2 weeks, and you bring it back and read it again. And the manuscript at that point will either be gleefully ripped in half and shredded, or be emailed to a trusted friend, or submitted to members of your writing workshop. People whom you trust, who will either applaud the genius of your work, or allow the guillotine to fall on the writer's hopes as quickly and cleanly as possible. So the first of these poems that I wrote, in these poems I humbly imagine the thoughts of history's most remarkable figures. And this first one was called, I'm not going to read it tonight, but it was called Einstein Lets One Rip During a Lecture on Creativity, on relativity. Incredulously and perhaps mistakenly, it survived the wastebasket and my friend's guillotines. So I plowed it on with the collection, and it's now chapbook length, ready to be published. So in case anyone out there has any relatives at Copper Canyon or Milkweed Presses, I'd be glad to talk to you after the reading. The collection is called Simulacra: Imagining Interior Imaginations of Those Who Change the Way We Imagine. The first poem imagines the true origins of the iPhone. For those of you under 25, the Princess phones were the popular pink or aqua precursor to what we now call a landline. But they had a annoyingly attached to the base by a coiled cord. The phone rang. Steve Jobs' 12-year-old hand froze just above the Lego phone he'd been sticking together the past 2 days. The size of a mini fridge, it parodied the old crank wall phones. Dinosaurs worth preserving to remind him how luxurious the pale blue Princess phone he now heard chirrup, 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 like a warbler's song in his parents' bedroom between the twin beds. The call wouldn't be for him. And yet, after adding that last block to his mammoth joke of a phone, he strolled toward the ring that beckoned like an anxious bird. He knew no one would pick it up, his father working, his mother gardening. Entering his parents' room, he gazed down at the singing's source, its oval lines lovely as lips. If lifted, the receiver would allow allowed 2 lighted buttons to pop up, erect and pointed at the outside world. The whole a piece of kinesthetic art. No way to improve on a design so flawless, authentic, self-assured, and handy to boot. The phone stopped ringing. He lifted the receiver, listened to the life of it inside, buzzing like a hive of bees, then replaced the handle and looked around him. He'd hear the back door. His mother came back inside, so he decided to explore. There, on his mother's lace-covered bureau, a silver cigarette case she carried in her purse, but would easily fit in Steve's back corduroy pocket. The familiar leather-bound flask topped his father's chest of drawers, easily holstered, slipped in nearly anywhere, as easily grabbed and even more readily handled if it should ring like a princess phone leashed to the wall. So now we're going to travel back about 150 years. We're going to travel back to about 150 years. Imagine Emily Dickinson standing before her bedroom window, reflecting on that late afternoon sunlight that famously oppresses like cathedral tunes. Emily Dickinson daydreams about having heavenly sex. Emily Dickinson stared out the window. She was trying to harvest heaven. The best she could do was reap Concord's denizens, going about their daily dalliances with husbands, wives, bosses, slaves, mothers, and fathers. But not, certainly, with God. There lay her disappointment. For all the gushing people made over him in church, you'd think he'd be more forthcoming, a bit more showy. Shouldn't he thank the poor souls that pray to him, acknowledge their white steeples, stained glass, rock-hard pews, choir lofts, and multiple organ pipes? The paraphernalia inviting folks to Sabbath gatherings, the audacious, ostentatious luring of non-believers to Jesus and his teachings. All that tacky, pernicious bric-a-brac merited at least a nod of thanks, a heavenly handshake for a job well done. But no, apparently not. To Emily, soaked by streams of golden rays sprayed down from the firmament's solar showerhead, more precious than an English regent's tubbery, the Lord defined appreciation not through the falderall, the kneeling, the supplication, the bread, the wine. No. He remained aloof as young, circumspect Mr. Thoreau, who skirted society. Exemplar to her fellow life travelers to go in solitude, to savor communion with the divine with a shift in mood, a turn of temperament, a dollop of indifference, the way sunlight bows in deference to evening's shade. God came to her here, on shafts of light whose beacons shone like the groom come to ravish the bride, whose innocence, her innocence, peaks and sparks. His feral nature, dropping minute by minute his luminous clothes for the dark of nightfall, his natural black self, the formless form, is milked by the moon to silhouette evil's purity, the waiting woman trembling at the ghastly promise of his entrance to her most casual dreams and desires, hoping to finally reach her lifelong tunnel's end, where past futures illuminate only one opening, small and far away, its pale, white, lunar period turning blood red with the coming of oncoming night. stay in the same time period, but we're going to shift settings a little bit to a small whaling village where a man is ruminating on the end of a pier. Herman Melville decides on the color of his whale. Herman Melville dangled his legs over the end of the pier. His boots nearly reached the rolling waves beneath him. He felt elated. His big book was almost done. He'd sent his sailors out to sea and killed them all, except one. He liked the final touch. His so-called narrator saved by the savage's coffin. Coincidence? Yes, but why wouldn't the box float to the surface, whether near the drowning man or not? Only one other question harassed Herman, brought down his mood: the Leviathan's color. The entire novel, or allegory, depended on that decision, that vision. He'd scroll through the rainbow spectrum tens, hundreds of times. Red for the American desert, orange for fire, yellow for sunlight, green for seaweed, blue for sky and ocean, indigo and violet, close enough, for veins and arteries. They all had potential, each had its own merits, but highlight one and diminish the rest. Moby Dick consummated every potential. The peg-leg captain trafficking life, death, and every mollusk and cormorant in between. Then, there, floating toward him, a dead fish, borne aloft by its very immobility, its dearth of struggle, as if to stop resisting, raised it up, allowed it to lounge. Did it hold the answer? This Atlantic cod sweeping toward him, its dorsal fin invisible? In death, its body had turned, its underbelly bearing every wondrous, inexplicable, invisible color. Herman leaned out, plucked it out of its sea's casket, and kissed the slimy, smooth skin, reeking worse than cadaverous gutter rat